Okay, ladies and gentlemen, this is going to be volume one in the new series that I'm starting called Pay Child Support. Paying Child Support. And the reason I'm making this series is for people to know and recognize that, of course, if you have a child, being that you're married or single or in a relationship, that and if the relationship doesn't work and you end up breaking up, then the person might end up, taking you to court for child support. Same thing whether you're single and y'all just messing around. So that's why, I'm pulling you guys that you guys know that, that when you mess around, especially having unprotected sex, and the person gets pregnant, then you end up having a child. Now, in this case, I know most of the time it's the woman that's usually taking the man to court for child support. But we're going to see in this case here that the the man is taking the woman to court for child support. Um, and it's the man's father because something happened to his son. His father got custody of the child, and now he's taking the mother for child support. So sometimes that could happen as well. Whoever has custody of the child, that's who ends up usually have to pay child support. Well, actually both, or both could pay child support, but in most cases, if whoever what they call the custodian parent is, that means whoever the child resides with and lives with, who has guardianship of the child, then usually the non-custodial parent usually has to pay child support. In most cases, it's the man, but in this case, we're going to see here it's the woman who's the non-custodial parent, and she will have to pay child support. And of course, they're going to talk about it, and I want to get my take. All right, let us begin. All right. All right.
Thank you. You all may be seated. Mr. Schaefer, you brought this case before the court, sir?
Yes, ma'am, I did.
Okay, go ahead. What's going on?
Well, my son was married to the respondent, and he died. They had a child that's now 3 years old that has been left in my custody, and I'm asking for some sort of relief or support because I'm retired from the military and on a fixed income.
Okay. First of all, my condolences for the
Thank
loss
you.
of your
I
son,
appreciate it.
and thank you for your service as well.
Oh, thank you.
How long has the child lived with you?
2 years.
2 years. Has mom given you any support for the child?
No, she hasn't.
She hasn't involved anything.
Not significantly, no. But I've just now come to the point where I need some relief and I need some help.
I agree with that.
All right, let me say this before they continue. In this case here, where the man is taking the woman for child support, being that he has custody, she doesn't. What she should have been doing was she should have been giving him money for child support. For being that that's her child, she should have been saying, "Hey, you need any help here? Here's some money here for clothes. Either buying the child clothes, either giving him money for him and for her child and stuff like that." See, and a lot of times this, if and that's how a lot of people end up in court for child support because they have a child, and then instead of them, trying to work it out with the person and saying, "Hey, look here, let me give you money here. I'm going to buy the stuff that the child needs and stuff like that," and so they don't end up in court. See, I think if what she should have done or could have done was could have had a talk, being that the father ended up having custody of the child. She could have been talking to the father and making arrangements with him, giving him money and things like this, helping out, and maybe she wouldn't be in court, having to pay child support. I mean, sometimes you can do that, and some people go along with that as long as you're doing that, and some people they just want to take you to court and to make sure to get the court system involved. If you can take care of your child, without getting the court system involved, that's great. But, always take care of your child, and hopefully, if you can, try to keep the court system out of it. All right, let us continue.
Ma'am,
Well, I've been traveling. My job had me traveling a lot, and I was in between jobs. I'm making 35,000 now,
okay.
and I'm
Where
not.
are you traveling?
Well, I'm a travel agent,
Okay.
so because of that, I can just travel. I get discounts, and I get the flight free. So,
Oh my God, that is amazing.
so
But that has nothing to do with you giving some sort of financial support
I didn't
to
have
this.
it.
Excuse me, I was talking. That has nothing to do with you giving financial support to this man for the support of your child. Your child, not his child. Your child.
But it is my child. That is correct. But like I said, my job had me traveling, and I really didn't have the extra money.
And let me say this too. That's the thing is, where if you have a child, like I say, once you have a child, um, and you don't have a lot of money or not making a lot of money, the courts is not going to care. The courts are not going to care. All they're going to care about is you paying money and help take care of that child. And it seems like this woman is very neglectful. See, like she don't care. She had the child with the man's son, whose son's deceased, God rest his soul. And now all she wants to do is just take her money, go run around and travel, do her. And you gotta take care of your child. See, like I said, maybe she would have talked to the man here, her son's grandfather, and make arrangements with him, giving him money and stuff like that. Maybe he wouldn't have had to take her to court for child support. And this is a lesson, not only just for women, but mainly for guys, because guys most of the time are the ones end up in court for child support. All right, let us continue.
What are you doing with yourself every day? What do you do? Tell me about your travel.
Well, I had got this new condo for one thing, and that's
Wait a minute. You got a
expensive.
you got a condo and you're traveling.
Yeah.
But how much is this condo?
Well, I'd rather not say.
No, I'd rather you say.
Because-
How much is this condo?
It's pretty steep. It's pretty steep.
Ma'am, what does that
And-
mean? That means nothing to me. Steep. You know how many people come in here with things that are steep? I need a number.
I like to live nice, and so I pay 5,000.
See, you know what? You obviously came here to waste my time.
No, I didn't
Yes, you
really.
did.
I didn't. And I
Ma'am,
really
yes you
haven't
did.
got
I've
some
asked you a very specific question. How much is your condo?
Well, I pay 5,000 a month.
$5,000 a month?
Mhm.
Sir,
Yes, ma'am.
is this 3-year-old in daycare?
Yes, he's in preschool because he has some special needs.
How much is daycare?
Daycare runs about $300 a week.
$300 a week.
Don't you get some kind of this?
And don't you
No.
just need to wait your turn until I come to you.
Yes.
I'm not talking to you. Thank you. Sir, $300 a week. And what type of special needs does the child have?
He's autistic.
Okay. Does he have to, you have to pay for like any medical expenses?
He needs special counseling, and of course, he has regular doctor visits.
Counseling? Does mom show up to any of those doctor's visits or anything?
Well, no, I haven't always told her, but I
Exactly.
haven't expected her.
Exactly. You haven't given him any money either.
Well,
Oh, well, I'm not talking to you still.
And let me say this real quick before they continue. And a lot of times, guys, of course, do this, make excuses and stuff why they shouldn't pay child support, don't pay child support. But yeah, as you can see, when a woman's being taken to court for child support, she tries to make excuses, this, that, and the other. And just to let you know, no matter if you're a man or woman, in this case here, that when you get in front of that court, you're not paying child support, all that, I gotta do this, I gotta pay for this or that, the other, they don't care. They do not care. Their concern is that you pay child support to that child. And obviously, this woman here sees like what they call, as we say, I don't know, so say called deadbeat dads, but see like she's a deadbeat mother. Because you see like she don't really care about a child. She don't, like he say, the man said, she don't even come visit. She don't, come see the child. Don't even give money to help for the child. And don't even come to none of the child's doctor's appointments. And this is really sad and really upsetting to see this. But this does happen. You have deadbeat fathers, but you also have some what you call quote unquote deadbeat mothers as well. So that's why I wanted to make this case so people can see that it ain't just some men that's deadbeats, but you also have some ladies who are deadbeats as well when it comes to taking care of their child or children. All right, let us continue.
Now, I don't have anything against my former daughter-in-law. I mean, she was married to my son, but I do need a little more involvement and a little help.
I agree with you. It definitely, if she's spending $5,000 a month on a condo, I don't even stay in a condo.
I need that.
Okay, I need a condo. Can you give me your condo? Exactly. So your child support based on $35,000 a year. Are you carrying any type of health insurance on the child?
See, that's another thing.
Let me say this too before they continue. Also, what they'll do is too that in some cases when you go to court for child support, or in some cases, sometimes I don't know if she had to submit it or not. I'm not sure, but in some cases, in some states, they will ask for you to bring stuff like your pay stubs, your most recent pay stubs, maybe a week, maybe a 4 weeks, 6 weeks, maybe 2 months, 3 months, depends, whatever it may be. But they usually might ask for recent pay stubs to see how much exactly are you making and everything when you have to go to court for child support. Reason I know because I have a son, he's grown, and of course I had to pay child support, so I'm pretty much familiar how the child support system works. So that's why I'm just letting people know, if you're not ready to have a child or take care of a child, don't lay down and have sex. Or if you are going to have sex, be protected, protect yourself. Use a condom. And let me say this one point too, guys. If you lay down, you have sex with the woman, and you use a condom, and she said you don't have to, and because she's on birth control, still use a condom anyway. Because a lot of guys has fallen into that trap where a woman says, "Hey, I'm on birth control. You don't have to use a condom. I like to feel it without a condom." Don't fall for it. And don't set yourself up, because a lot of guys have ended up getting trapped behind this. All right, anyway, let us continue.
On the child?
Yes.
Well, the child is autistic, so the child gets a check. So I don't understand why you need my money.
Okay.
Because you get assistance from the government.
Excuse.
Let me say this. This is a case in point where the woman don't care. All she wants to do is that she don't want nothing to do with the child. She wants to just go on, take her money, live free. Don't want to see the child. Don't want to get involved with the child. Don't want to pay nothing. And then here she's making up excuse to him. He gets a check. Why should I have to pay? Well, it's your child. You always, if you have to pay. Whether he's getting a check or not, it's still your responsibility to help support your child. And that not only just goes for women, but it goes for ladies. Goes for fellas too. Whether it be the man or the woman, if you don't have custody of your child or even joint custody, you're still going to have to pay some type of child support. That's why I'm making this video. Pay your child support. You got to pay child support. If you have a child, you got to take care of the child and pay child support, no matter what. And when you get to court here, as you can see, judges they're not going to buy that. They're not going to hear that. They're not going to buy or hear any excuses when you come to court and have to pay child support. You're going to have to pay that child support, and she just going to have to, whatever the child support, whatever the judge says it's going to be, she's going to have to do it, whether she like it or not. And the same thing happened with you guys, whether you like it or not. When it comes to paying child support, judge is not going to listen to any excuses. Don't care how high on the hog you're living or whether you're broke as a joke. You still going to have to pay. All right, let us continue.
It's me.
For me, my child.
Excuse me. Last time I checked, I was the judge.
You are.
Okay, thanks. That means that I asked the questions and I addressed him. He addressed me.
Okay.
You do not address him.
All right.
Okay?
Understand.
How much is health insurance for the child only?
I have no idea what health insurance is for the child.
So obviously you don't pay it. Sir, how much is health insurance for the child
It's
only?
just short of $400.
Short for the child only?
Yes,
Ma'am, you.
I'm covered under the VA.
Well, I thought he was getting
No, well, I thought you should have been giving him something for child support.
Did you hear what the judge said? The judge said same thing I've been saying. She should have been giving him something for child support. She just totally neglected child. She don't care. I don't think she cares about herself. And you got a lot of people like that. And you got some guys like that. That they want to. Some guys they don't care. Once they get the girl knocked up, they have a baby. Sometimes they don't really care about the child. And in some cases, they don't care about the child, maybe because the fact is that they're not with the girl anymore. And since they're not with the girl anymore, they collect the child. And of course, maybe she probably feels the same way that that her husband, was passed on, God rest his soul, and maybe she feel that the grandfather has a child, so maybe he can take care of the child. I don't need to be a part of the child's life. I don't need to give her any money. I don't need to come see the child and anything like that. So so that's why she's, not seeing about the child not paying anything. The judge said she could have been already paying him child support. See, had she been giving the man money and trying to help him, maybe he wouldn't have to take her to court over child support. Anyway, let us continue.
So we're going to go ahead and make that happen today. And the child has been living with you for the past 2 years, you say?
2 years.
So not only am I going to make you pay child support, ma'am, you're going to pay back pay as well.
I can't afford that.
Guess what? Sell your condo, then you can afford that.
Hey, let me say this too. It's like she said, the judge's not going to care. Once you got to pay child support, they're going to like I said, not only you have to pay child support. They're not going to care whether you can afford it or not. You better try to find a way to afford it. Maybe get an extra job. Maybe work 2, possibly 3 jobs if you have to. They have to take care of that child. So maybe she wanted the downside, like she said, had to sell the condo, maybe move into a one bedroom apartment or something a little cheaper, because she going to have to pay that child support no matter what. And also, too, let me say this, too, that she did mention, too, I'd like to touch on, that a lot of times when a person brings you to court for child support, if you haven't been paying child support for a year, 2 years, 3 years, sometimes they're going to backlog it, and you'll have to pay for those other 2 or 3 years, or year, 2, 3 years that you haven't been paying child support for. That's just what the judge is doing here in this case here. So not only she's going to have to currently pay child support from now until the child, I guess, turns 18, or in some states, in some cases, 21. She's also going to have to back pay as well. All right, let's continue.
So I have your gross based on $35,000 a year at $2,916.67. And you said the health insurance is $400 a month?
Yes.
That's pretty steep based on, well, not that your coverage is not steep, but in Texas, we're only allowed to take 9% of her gross. So based on 9%, it'll be $262.50.
Will that start? Can you give me maybe 3 months before that starts? I can rebudget my bill.
Let me think about that. No.
And just real quick too, she said, can you wait and help me wait a month or 2 before so she can budget her bills? No, once they hit you with that child support, immediately you're gonna have to find ways to start making cuts and costs so you can be able to keep up with that child support. It ain't gonna be like what she said. Ain't gonna be none of that No, they're gonna wait. They're gonna hit you with that immediately. So keep this in mind, fellas, and also ladies. If you don't have custody of your child and you get taken to child support, be prepared, because this could happen to you. And for what the judge said, I think they said they're coming out of the state of Texas. So, yeah, but each state is different, have different laws and different ways of doing child support. But the fact is, across the board, no matter what state you live in, once they hit you with that, once you get the courts, you get hit with that child support, they're not going to listen to any excuses what you got to say, no matter what. All right, let's continue.
So $262.50.
I had a question. Why are you being so hard on me?
Ma'am, I'm not being hard on you. You have not given this man any type of child support to support your child, and then you come to court and say you don't have money, but you travel and you have a $5,000 a month condo, but you don't give him anything a month.
I don't have it. I just don't have it.
Well, I can't help you.
And see, this is sad. She claimed that she don't have it, but yeah, she got money to live in a $5,000 a month condo, and she got money to go and travel, and she won't even, help her out with her child. She don't even care about her child. And like I say, they just men, but also I could say some women, as we can see here, that guys could be what they call deadbeat mothers, and this is really sad, really sad. And like I said, not only just for you guys, but for ladies too that might end up in a circumstance like this. When it comes to this, child support and stuff like that, like I said, they're not going to care. Like I said, once you get that court for child support, game over. Whatever they say you have to pay, you have to pay. When you can't afford to pay, then you're going to have to do something. You're going to have to go out, maybe work overtime on your job. Maybe you might have to find another job, work maybe 2 or 3 jobs to take care of yourself and to pay that child support. So it's no joke. So something that y'all need to think about, especially the men. But ladies, something you think about as well. All right, let's continue.
So it's going to be, I have your child support obligation. And how many children do you have? I'm sorry, ma'am.
Just one.
One child. So that's based on 20%. Let's see here. Sir, you said you all have a cordial relationship. Are you okay with continuing that health insurance?
Yes, I am.
Okay. And are you seeking any type of reimbursement from her on the health insurance?
No, I mean, it's all in the past.
Okay. Well, you got really lucky.
And let me say this too. And she should consider herself real lucky and fortunate that he's not asking for medical support, because not only in cases like this, in most cases, you have to pay child support, then you also have to pay medical support too. I know about that as well. I can speak on that from experience as well, myself from the past. But anyway, like I say, in some cases, like I say, some people won't be lenient. They'll want you not only pay child support, but also medical support. But to see like he's a real stand-up guy, stand-up man here. So he's not asking for medical support. He said he'll help continue to pay the medical support, but she won't have to pay on the medical support. So she should consider herself fortunate on that end, because sometimes in some cases when you get hit with child support, you also have to have medical insurance for that child as well. All right, let's continue.
He cut you a break. So your child support obligation, your net comes out to $2,466.03. Your child support obligation comes out to $394.56. Now your back child support, that $394.56, you have to pay that back from the time that the child has lived with Mr. Schaefer.
That's not fair.
Yes, ma'am. In Texas, it goes back 4 years. Your child is 3. So with that calculation, it comes out to...
See, did you hear that? I hope y'all heard that. See, he's been living, child been living with him 3 years, and they said Texas, they go back to far as 4 years. See, I don't know. Each state is different. Like I say, some states is 1 year, 2 years, 3 years. As you can see, they're they're living in the state of Texas, so it goes back 4 years for them. So it's something for you people to, something for y'all to think about. Not only just the deadbeat guys, but some of these deadbeat women. Y'all need to think about this as well. All right, let's continue.
$14,204.16 to be paid monthly at an amount of $200. That makes your total child support obligation set at, well, I'm gonna make it $300 because $14,000 is a huge amount. So that makes your monthly child support obligation $694.56.
I got.
Whew, that's a lot of money. Whew. Thanks be to God. When I had to pay child support for my child, my son. Whew, thank goodness it wasn't this high. Oh my goodness. I had to pay this kind of money back then, but whew, I probably would have been living in my car. But see, this is the thing. See, had she worked something out with the man, she probably could have worked something out. It could have been giving him $200-300 a month. But you see, as you can see, they do the breakdown here. I don't know if you can see it here. They go by your gross, they break down your net, they see how much your child support is, and then they even call, back pay as well, as you can see here. And here she is, she's still making excuses. This ain't gonna, like I say, you get in front of that court and gotta pay that child support, they're not gonna wanna hear that. They're not gonna hear that. Only thing they're gonna be concerned is with you paying that, paying your child support. They don't care if it leaves you homeless, broke, busted, and disgusted. It doesn't matter. All that matters is that they want you to pay that child support, and you're going to have to pay that child support. So they're not going to mess around and fool around with you on that. All right, let's wrap this up here.
Some deals that I can show you. I just can't afford that.
And you know what? He has bills that he can show me as well, and you have not done anything. And you're lucky that he cut you a break because I didn't have to let him do that. Is there anything further, Mr. Schaefer?
That's all that I have.
Can we talk and maybe we can talk amongst one another and see if we can come to an agreement?
You're more than welcome to do that at a later date, but right now I just made my ruling. Do you have any other questions pertaining to
I guess not, since I have to pay all this money.
Okay, well, I guess you all are dismissed. Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, anyway, that's it on that. That's it on that. Like I said, guys, and ladies as well, you gotta, you have a child, you have to pay child support. Just as simple as that, just like that. So, if you, like I say, if you can talk, if you can reason with the person, and y'all can work something out without having to go to court, that is best. Try to do that if you can work it out. Whether if you're the father or grandfather and you have the child and the mother doesn't, or whether the mother or either grandmother has a child, whoever you don't have a child, whoever has a child, it's best if you could try to work it out without getting the court system involved. And if you can't, then you end up going to court. Then whatever the judge says goes. Anyway, that's it on that one. Like I say, subscribe to the channel, like, comment, subscribe. Hit the like button, share this information with your friends, family, and everybody else you know, so they can learn from this, case, and hopefully they won't fall into these same situations. All right, take care. God bless you all. Peace.